raising awareness and a notion of acceptance of people with disabilities is making their stories part of popular culture. In doing this, society is encouraged to move towards disability inclusion and move away from stigmas. I will be critically analysing an American sitcom called Speechless, which follows the story and experiences encountered by a male teenager with cerebral palsy and his nuclear family. The series is very uplifting in its attempts to eliminate stereotypes linked to disabilities. The purpose of Speechless is to showcase the life of a cerebral palsy teenager who encounters high school with a developmental disability making him nonverbal, as the title creatively indicates. JJ communicates by using headgear with a laser pointer to indicate various words, letters, and numbers on a board attached to his wheelchair. They have moved and changed schools several times. This exhaustion is exaggerated by JJ's brother, who says, "I'm sorry, changing schools again? This will be the 6th school in 2 years. The mother quickly interrupts, "We're moving because we've found the perfect situation for your brother. It is a plain old class with a full-time aide, someone who will be by your side, reading from your board wherever you go, a voice, no more special ed." Brilliant, right? This highlights a strong desire the mother has to achieve integration for her son and the hope in discovering a school that prides itself on being inclusive. This scene displays a grueling barrier of accessing a quality mainstream education for an individual with a disability. This is echoed in the article. The current education system is failing to adequately meet the needs of students with disability. The article outlines a typical school experience for a student with a disability. It involves discrimination, a systemic culture of low expectations, exclusion, and bullying. All barriers hindering well-being and lacking an individual's ability to develop confidence and skills to be able to contribute meaningfully to communities post-school. According to Children and Young People with Disability Australia, in 2015 approximately 90% of students with disability attended mainstream schools across systems in Australia. However, the poor outcomes due to the barriers outlined previously exemplify that being encountered inside the school gate does not deliver a quality education for these students, and this leads to a profound impact on life outcomes. JJ DeMeo stars Micah Fowler, who has cerebral palsy in real life. Director Scott Silvery said it was never a question of whether or not an actor with cerebral palsy would be cast as the key role. "It is the right thing to do," he said, politically and artistically. This allows for a successful portrayal of the life of a person living with a disability, which is delivered through a positive and true perspective, assisting in raising awareness and acceptance for disability inclusion in the media and in society. An exact representation is portrayed in the opening scene, where through humour the family battle negativism from people in their community. Firstly, an elderly lady displays ignorance towards the family as she abruptly yells, "Excuse me, there is no handicap sticker on your car. Do you expect me to walk from all the way over there?" Attempting to explain she deserves a parking spot more. Male teenagers appear to be snickering from afar, in which the mother quickly addresses this. "Oh yeah, hello." These, referring to their hands, need a bit of a tune-up, but he is all there upstairs and he's got a finger out staring. Oh, and that's the finger. In a defensive but positive light, the family address these common societal attitudes verbally and through body language. The way in which the family address the situation in a positive manner, as they disregard preconceptions, suggests it is a regular occurrence that the family are faced with. However, no doubt such encounters would have a detrimental impact on the well-being of all family members. Developing children and some adults have had little contact and exposure with children with disabilities. Consequently, their ideas and attitudes are likely to be based on preconceptions and stereotypes due to a lack of knowledge and understanding of inclusion. Research indicates that the extent to which these initial ideas, attitudes, and stereotypes are modified in a positive light is due to experience and interactions humans have at a young age with children with disabilities. Stereotypes are evident when the mother questions, "Where is the wheelchair ramp?" to which she is disgusted to see her son is sharing a ramp with the garbage. The groundskeeper explains how the ramp is disabled friendly, as they utilised the ramp last week for a crippled person. The mother was disgusted by the word crippled that he associates with this disabled person. She decides to give a crash course in human dignity, questioning items in the garbage to distinguish whether it is trash or a person. The other son of the family meets someone eager to be his friend, and he quickly says, "You seem great, but I'm just here for the day," as he observed his mother's disgust with the school environment, and summarises that they will likely move schools to yet again search for a school which fosters a sense of inclusion for his brother. As JJ enters his new class, he is welcomed with a standing ovation. The teacher explains, "Sorry, we're just excited. We haven't had a student before who is taller, sitting down than any of us, standing." This is followed by the introduction to another student where the teacher says, "Zachary's cousin is deaf, so he gets it," delivering the preconceived idea that JJ is the same as any other person with a disability, showing an ignorance and lack of knowledge towards cerebral palsy. JJ is not impressed as the class want to vote him for president, to which he says, "You don't even know me." The teacher says, "We don't have to because you're an inspiration," which again communicates a lack of understanding of inclusion and acceptance, as JJ wants to be treated like any other student where people take time to get to know him and don't just make assumptions. These scenes portray the connotations that most people associate with a disabled person, which goes against the characteristics of what inclusive education looks like, which involves valuing and facilitating the full participation and belonging of everyone in all aspects of our education communities and systems. Furthermore, research indicates the need to move away from reasonable individual adjustments and move towards inclusive education for all. Over the course of the series, the director achieves to a high extent the reality of a family with a teenager who is disabled. Their lives consist of many challenges and accomplishments which they encounter with humour and triumph. The mother plays a key role in her demand for inclusion for JJ. This is specifically evident when she insists on cancelling a homecoming bonfire because she deems it inaccessible for wheelchairs. However, as a result of this, JJ suffers backlash at school. A research report by Kathy Colligan emphasises the importance that no one is excluded as supports for inclusion are embedded within everyday educational practices. Perhaps the most powerful message is that all students, regardless of diversity, and if support is required, are meaningfully involved in all aspects of the curriculum, thus making inclusion a shared experience. Furthermore, the report continues to explain that inclusive education encompasses upholding the dignity of each student in belonging, participating and accessing ongoing opportunities, recognising and valuing the contributions that each student makes, and supporting every student to flourish.